Okay, guys, we're live now.
I just reposted it there. Sorry, Arthur.
Yeah, guys, we're recording this now. So this is our session number 5 now of the Dascoin white paper walkthrough. Guys, before we start reading paragraphs and adding our own interpretation, kind of simplifying things, first thing that I'm going to say, these sessions are a little bit of a kind of full-on. These concepts may seem like over the head to most people, especially when you read or listen to them for the very first time. But believe me, it's absolutely crucial that you understand what's actually going on. Basically, people are asking, when is this coming out? When is this coming out? When the company is going to be doing this? Probably the next 12 to 18 months, when it comes to features, technical implementations have been encompassed inside this document. That they've been covered, extensively. So this is pretty much, it's almost like a Bible or whatever you want to compare it to. For us, this is really the document that you need to become acquainted with. This, in conjunction with the weekly webinars that the company does, it's like a must, effectively. You need to cover, and the moment you do, you're not going to be walking with this, you're going to be running.
Yeah. And guys, for anybody who missed the call today with John Petto, I've been out all day. I've just got in and I've just watched it, and oh God, it's just incredible what's coming up with it. Oh, you just leave now and do it.
So we've got the recording. James, did you manage to catch that?
Oh,
okay.
Is it really good?
Yeah, it's the like bomb.
It's the best ever.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't watch it is because I was picking my kids up from school. So, and then I was doing this, so I watched it tonight. Yeah,
the recordings have already been shared. It just, guys, literally watch it tonight. After this, and the next thing, do not even turn on the telly or anything like that. Just jump onto that update that the company did earlier today. Massive, really.
You're going to be jumping up and down when you hear it.
I've already been jumping up and down. Did you not hear my news?
I congratulated you.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine, James. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, guys, let's get going. Okay, so I'm going to start from the page. This is the page 18 of the white paper. Middleware. Just let that have one more person in. DASnet is a sophisticated network that is intended for blockchain hosting and global access to transaction capture and verification. For this reason, Dascoin is hosted on specifically designed state-of-the-art network architecture that serves a reliable network and allows global scaling. Pretty straightforward. We're going to go deeper into the infrastructure, software and hardware, and then we will start understanding what exactly is going on and how this is going to be incorporated and implemented. Hardware infrastructure. Master nodes are exclusively hosted in data centers based on a requirement that access to the server rack is physically secured. They are compatibly connected to other data centers around the world over leased direct lines, affording reliable and highly connected bandwidth. This approach gives DASnet control of the entire path between data centers and permits prevention of man-in-the-middle attacks, as well as denial of service and distributed denial of service attacks among the nodes that maintain the blockchain and its connectivity to servers. Effectively, this part is talking about the hardware type of the equipment, effectively the core of everything. It talks about the fact that there will be protection, that they're already putting things in place in order to protect the nodes that are effectively like computers. Computers will be distributed around the world to make sure that you wouldn't want everything to be stored in one location, because in case something does happen to that location for whatever reason, then everything goes. In here, it clearly states that we will be in several locations around the world: Malta, Switzerland, Serbia. These locations are already being activated fully for the blockchain. Okay. DASnet has 2 additional layers for handling transaction capture and network connectivity, in addition to the core infrastructure features mentioned previously. The server configuration involves state-of-the-art quality components and protection for high-end threat prevention and hardware-based firewall solutions that are commonly utilized by banks and other highly secure environments. In addition, DasNet is hosted on powerful servers that operate with 44 cores per server, which provides an efficient space and power consumption to scale into very high traffic and utilization globally. 44 cores per server. Anyone who has any sort of IT background, I previously worked for an IT security company, so I understand these concepts. This is really massive. DasNet will have a total of 33 core master nodes operating in data centers in 33 different jurisdictions throughout the world. Core master node installations will occur at a pace of approximately 2 per month. There will also be approximately 3,000 core ledger nodes running on DasNet. In addition, deep vault contracts will lead to thousands of community master and ledger nodes being added to the DasNet infrastructure. So, guys, before we've like when we started reading this, we do dry runs. So we go through these documents in our own kind of secluded group, and we cover it, and we start reading through it. But still, like when we did them in the last 2 weeks, we did like 5 or 6 sessions. We still did not quite understand exactly what's going on. But that's because we didn't fully cover the white paper. The more in depth or the further we get within a white paper, the more gaps start filling up for us effectively. Because all these parts here, like we understand now what the master nodes are, what the ledger nodes are when it comes to contracts. What I've just read, those are different nodes. Those core master nodes and core ledger nodes are different nodes. They are like more operational when it comes to the infrastructure. What we've read before during our previous session about the master ledger nodes, those are contracts effectively. Any of us, or community master and ledger nodes, any of us can actually have them. Okay, software infrastructure. Connectivity to the yeah.
Sorry, just before you go on, remember earlier when we talked about this, we asked Paul the questions?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, just read it out.
So it's out now, while we're still just on the masternode part.
Yeah.
So guys, earlier on when we were doing our dry run, we asked these questions to Paul to ask Michael Mateus directly. The questions we asked were, what's the difference between master nodes and core master nodes? And is the 33rd power related to the Dascoin council members because there's 33 council members, or is it the 33 core master nodes? So this is the answers that we got back from that. So the answer to question 1, what is the difference between master nodes and core master nodes, is this. Master nodes will come in 2 varieties. Core master nodes, which are owned and maintained by entities that are a part of the Dascoin ecosystem, and community master nodes, which are owned and maintained by long-term Dascoin holders. 33 core master nodes, and there are likely to be even more community master nodes. So this would go back into the master contracts effectively and the ledger contracts. Answer 2 for the question, is the 33rd power related to the Dascoin Council, which is 33 members, or the 33 core master nodes? The answer is 2 of the 33rd power was chosen because it's precise, it's binary mathematics, and it ends up being a final number of units that works well for the Dascoin store of value unit. The 32nd power would be about 4 billion units, and the 34th would be about 17 billion units. So we're in between that. Because Dascoins are calculated to 5 decimal places, the actual number of units is not overly important, as fractional amounts are very usable. Still, we thought it was important to have enough units to ensure that the price will remain in single and double digits in the early stages of the currency. So they're really keeping us on the ball. It's amazing. So I'm sorry for cutting in, but I just thought I would read that out so that people could hear it.
That's perfect. It just shows how, again, it's just how much thought they effectively put into the system. So they still want to have that kind of that finite figure that is going to be quite scarce, effectively, or scarce. Yes. So that's why we've got that. We've got that figure when it comes to how many Dascoins will be in total in circulation. Of course, the moment we grab hold or put our fingers or hands on these contracts, there won't be this many in circulation. Software infrastructure. Connectivity to the Dascoin blockchain also rides on a software level service that enables access to the core services while keeping its high isolation and security. These services offer and support core service load balancing, as well as redundancy and ease to scale as network resources may be needed with a growing network utilization. So these guys effectively are already putting infrastructure in place to ensure that all the services are being accessible. So through load balancing solutions, again, it's something that I used to sell. Access to the Dascoin blockchain requires configuration for authorized parties to transmit relevant information from the blockchain and its internal operations. It also undergoes 24/7 monitoring and support in order to maintain both external services and the key parameters of the core services. Each of these components and services enable a high-speed block production rate, as well as maintenance of the integrity of its operation. The immutably and cryptographic connection between all activities defends the principles of the Dascoin blockchain and DASnet. Again, it's going over the software and how it's going to be structured, about the support, and what effectively it's going to be securing. Okay, middleware, the last one, that's page 19, core development team. The hardware infrastructure is implemented and maintained by the core development team, or software infrastructure is developed and maintained by the core development team. The board is responsible for ensuring that the core development team acts in the best interest of the entire ecosystem. Masternodes are under the control of ecosystem executives, board directors, and significant stakeholders from the Dascoin community. No individual or company is permitted to control more than 3 masternodes within the DASnet infrastructure. And again, I had a question, a very interesting question earlier today when I was speaking with one of the programmers, just some guy doing web designing, he's not actually part of our ecosystem or community just yet, I'm hoping. And he actually mentioned, how is this oligarchy or some kind of dictatorship or whatever? I said, it's very democratic. The way this business is run is going to be very democratic. And that's another part which kind of confirms that they're going to be protecting. They will ensure that people do not have more than 900 voting rights or 900 seats on this kind of a parliament when it comes to any decision making. That's why they restricted the community masternodes to 3.
Thanks,
okay.
Martha.
Who's taking over, James or Rebecca?
Yeah, me.
Okay.
So we're on page 20, licensing system onboarding. In order for a person or entity to become an active participant in the authenticated network, they must obtain a license. The blockchain software allows for a service to be authorized to connect and register new accounts. The value in the form of euros or Bitcoin that was contributed will determine the level of the licenses, which determines the scale at which a person or entity can participate in the network. Once a license is purchased, the recipient must register a wallet account to take full advantages of the opportunities created by the license. That is quite self-explanatory. If you want to DASnet, you have to pay a license, which is just basically what I've just read. But I think that's it for that section, really. And you have to, once you have get put into. So, does anyone want to add to that?
No, just Rebecca, maybe you can just stop the video sharing because your internet got a bit choppy and yeah, your voice kind of got
So I can go in a different room because I'm right out in my conservatory.
Just stop video sharing, and that will do. That should preserve some bandwidth, and that should improve the quality of the audio.
I thought it was my network connection was away.
No, I think it was. Yeah, just carry on, Rebecca. Yeah. No. Just it's clear. It's just a license, effectively. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just if it carries on, tell me. So I'll go in a different room. Vault accounts. Vault accounts hold personal information of the user, and these are the accounts that are actually receiving the licenses. The account is registered to the Dascoin blockchain, and the license is assigned by the license issuing authority. Once a license is granted, the Vault account will receive cycles. Vault accounts have transfer restrictions. You hear me all right?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Vault accounts have transfer restrictions dependent on license level and authentication level. For a Vault account to be in use, it must be connected to a wallet account. The Vault account is also the account where cycles can be submitted to the Dascoin minting queue. So basically, we went over this yesterday, where your personal information, so like your name, your address, and that kind of personal details is not accessible by anybody. It's completely private, and that's what this section has just gone over again. So, and then once you have your license, your cycles go into your vault. Your cycles get submitted to the network, and the end result is that you get Dascoins, basically. And they go into the minting queue. So wallet accounts provide trading services to the participants of the DASnet. This account can accept transfers from the Vault account and perform wire out transactions, as well as transfer funds to other wallet and Vault accounts to the network. A wallet account holder can also access a variety of functions throughout the wallet, including voting and the operation of community ledger nodes or community master nodes corresponding to deep vault contracts. So that's quite a difficult one. It's saying like, I hope this is right. Once you, when you use your wallet, you can basically transfer money to where you want. So I could, for example, I could send money to Arthur. And you can use it for other.
Yeah, it's effectively how the system of that internal money transfer is effectively connected. You've got the votes, you've got the wallets, and everything is the process of linking. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Sorry, I just realised I missed a bit out on the paragraph above, was to say that there are different licenses. Obviously, there's 6 different licenses. So depending which one you have, the higher license that you buy, each week you can move more coins. There's a limit to the amount of coins that you can move. If you like, a privilege of having a higher license is that you are eligible to move more coins. For example, if you've got the 25,000 compared to the €100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just, because that last one, that wallet account section, does anyone want to add to that?
It's basically just your wallet. So your wallet is your wallet. You can choose to send money from your own to someone else's. There's different functions within it. You've voting contracts, etc. It's
I think
pretty self-explanatory. So don't
overthink it.
Yeah.
No, just think about it. So I think as we go on and other products and services become available, there'll be like a wider scale of things that you can use your cycles and coins for.
Well, it's the wallet itself is just version 1.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've got a long way to go yet.
Yeah.
So tethering. All vault accounts must be connected to a wallet account. The two types of accounts become tethered and are then inextricably linked. A wallet account can be connected to as many vault accounts as a user is willing to share. The tethering process involves a signature from both vault and wallet account simultaneously to perform a successful tethering transaction. This process is initiated by a secure invitation that is sent through a combination of email and SMS text message by the licensing entity. So what it's saying is, I know that not everybody, but many people have more than one account with Dascoin. So you have the option, you can combine all your accounts into one wallet, or you can have separate wallets for your accounts. And what it's saying is, like the last part, when you go to register your web wallet, there's the options at the bottom to click, whether you want to do it separately or together. You'll then, when you do that, you actually get an SMS, you get an email notification and you get an SMS notification, which you have to input that code to confirm that it's you, basically. And that's all it's saying.
Perfect.
KYC and AML, know your customer, and anti-money laundering. Each vault account must be licensed for a person or entity to access DasNet. The license level and corresponding KYC levels also determine the daily amounts a vault account is eligible to transfer to the wallet account. So that's what I was explaining just now. Depending which license you have, there's a limit to the amount of coins that you can move each week. So as it says here, a higher license level enables the person or entity to increase their level of authentication and therefore increases their access to more capacity within the system and higher withdrawal privileges. So the higher license you've got, the more coins you've got available to use. This way, the Dascoin blockchain and DasNet can be fully compliant with global regulations that require account holders to be identified and in good standing before engaging in commerce with other participants of the DAS ecosystem. So something that we spoke about yesterday was Arthur, were you buying or selling Bitcoin, Arthur?
I'm buying lots of different currencies, actually.
No.
What do you mean?
Okay. So Arthur was buying Bitcoin off somebody. So Arthur had to send someone some money and they were sending him Bitcoin. So because the person didn't know him, Arthur had to physically show on the screen to the person his ID, so like his driving license, passport and things like that, to prove that he was who he was. So they had some trust in him. What this is saying is, because we've got full KYC, we don't need to do that. And when you send money between members, it's safe and secure, basically.
Yeah. It's that example that's what we've also given yesterday during the call with Vivian about the effectively the doorman and then whatever staff are at the bar and serving that. Once you've been authenticated, once you've been allowed into that permissioned blockchain, because it's a permission only, you've got to be authorized in order to have access and use the services within the blockchain, then all the system is doing is just performing light verification that takes like a millisecond, that James mentioned as well, and then you're good to go.
Thanks. This type of authentication protocol results in a higher level of integrity amongst participants and is likely to lead to more acceptance within regulated jurisdictions throughout the world. So because we are compliant, we have these regulations, we've got full KYC compliance. I know in January we were in 99 countries. Now I'm pretty sure that if that hasn't doubled, I'd be surprised. But what it means is we're able to access that many countries because we have got this compliance in place. Right. So that's my section done.
Has anyone got any questions? Anyone who's on the call got any questions about anything so far? No.
Yeah, because we are just about halfway.
Just explaining it so well.
Yeah. Okay, folks, so we're going to move on to page 21, which is the web wallet. The web wallet is a secure access point for users to access relevant data on the Dascoin blockchain and interact with global state by way of sending transactions. It is a cryptographic web-based wallet with the client front end running on the user's browser and the application server back end hosted on an internet web server. So basically that means your wallet will be on your home computer or your phone, smartphone, tablet, and then the main servers will be the main servers and the internet kind of stuff. The web wallet serves as the user's point of entry into the secure Dascoin network. Each web wallet account links the users to their vaults and wallets and is used to store and validate personal KYC and AML information. Users authenticated through web wallet can access the relevant data from the global blockchain state, balances from vaults, license, purchases, a history of transactions, etc. Web wallet relies on a cryptographic hardware store for managing keys and security signing blockchain transactions. This proprietary hardware device is known as the validator and has the ability to generate and store ECDSA private keys corresponding to the user's blockchain vaults. Folks, we have asked this question of what ECDSA keys are. We're pretty sure it's something to do with encryption, so encrypted keys, but we will bring you that specific answer tomorrow because it's something that we also would like to know. The validator is also secured with a PIN and passphrase that prevents misuse and theft of keys. So some banks here in the UK, you get like a little, it looks like a calculator if you're making a transaction, and what you have to do is put your debit or credit card into the top of it, and it'll give you a 4-digit code or 5-digit code. You then ding that into the online sales point of sales machine, and that will either pass you because you've got, there you go, Arthur has one. It will pass you as you put in the correct code, or it will decline you if you put in the wrong information or the wrong code. So very highly sophisticated bits of hardware that we have. When signing blockchain transactions, web wallet interfaces with the validator hardware device. The user must first unlock their validator before the required private ECDSA key can be transferred into the browser memory of the JavaScript client application upon confirmation of a transaction. Huge sentence there. So basically, it's just saying that you need to have this thing up and running before you can use it. No Dascoin transaction can be made without validation through this cryptographic hardware device. This system provides the highest level of safety and security and the authentication of transactions. The key is stored in the memory for the shortest possible time required to send the transaction, upon which it is purged from the client memory. This means after that one code has been put in, it's taken away, it's taken out of circulation and can't be used again. The private key is never hot. It never crosses the wire, not even in encrypted form. So we had a chat about this, and I think we were all in agreement when we said that when it's being hot and it hasn't crossed the wire, that this means that it is never online, so it can't be accessed by anybody else via Wi-Fi or whatever else that people would use to crack into things. The user can back up mnemonic consisting of 24 words used as entropy for generating the private key. In case of theft or loss of the hardware device, the user can use the mnemonic to reconstruct the original private key, restoring access to their account. Real life situation with this mnemonic code is Bitcoin wallets. A lot of Bitcoin wallets now, you don't use email addresses to sign up, etc. And they just give you this mnemonic key or passphrase, and it will be 24 complete random words. So that if you lost your phone, which be honest, this has happened to me twice within the last year. My phone is gone, and I actually had the mnemonic thing screenshotted on my phone that I couldn't access, so I lost quite a bit of Bitcoin. So it's worth noting from my own personal experience, and in my opinion, and I would highly recommend you listen to it, is that you write this down somewhere and put it in a safe. Probably write it down 2 or 3 times if you want, and put them somewhere that you will definitely remember where it is. Because if you lost that along with your validator device, I don't think it would be possible whatsoever to get into your account and access that. It's pretty high level security stuff, and it's something that we should all really consider thinking about properly. Yeah.
Sorry, just very quickly to add to that, because I've watched some video where people effectively said that thousands and thousands of Bitcoins have effectively, yes, you've mentioned as well, but they've been lost, and that's it. No one is able to recover them purely because they're not able to actually access their votes. And here, Dascoin already understood it. That's something that happened to Bitcoin, but because we're making everyone aware, this isn't going to happen to any of our users.
Yeah. In a sense, it's bad for the user, but to everyone else, it could be good because it's less coins in circulation, and the price then will go up. So you have to take the positive out of every negative. So you can kind of see at the bottom here, folks, of the page. I don't know if you are reading through the page with us, but it's just a kind of graph of where the coins start, where the external exchanges, internal exchanges, how they go into your vault, your hot wallet, all this kind of stuff. So it's basically just like a little motorway and different parts that pull off will give you the different places to go. So we're going to change page now to page 22, which is the Dascoin minting. Vivian can't make it tonight because he's at a Dascoin meeting. Was this your page now?
Yeah.
Yeah, happy days. So Debbie is going to take over, and without further ado, I'll pass you over to Debbie.
Okay, guys. Dascoin minting. The process of producing and distributing new Dascoins is known as minting. This allows a person or entity to store value in the form of Dascoins. In order to obtain Dascoins, people can submit cycles to the network and then be assigned in a place in the Dascoin minting queue on a first in, first out basis. Dascoins are distributed to the account that is next in line of the distribution queue. At each Dascoin distribution interval, a specific amount of Dascoins are distributed to the participants in the queue. The amount of Dascoins to be received is regulated by an adjustable conversion factor called the frequency, in such a way that the amount of cycles submitted divided by the frequency equals the number of Dascoins that will be distributed to that person. The account is deducted cycles at the time of submission and the time of distribution. The Dascoins are automatically transferred into the account by the blockchain wallet. Okay, guys, so this is what you've actually been learning from the start. Whatever you buy your license at, whichever frequency you buy your license, determines how many cycles you get and how many coins are minted and put into your wallet. Now, when I joined at the start of September, it was 3.7. We're now sitting at 6.5. And daily things are just getting faster and hotter, and a lot more people are joining, a lot more countries are joining, businesses are joining, and who knows where the frequency will be by the time we go onto the external exchange. So that's something which is kind of really exciting, especially for those of us that are already here just now, and we have maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 licenses, to be at a point whereby we purchase at 3.7 or 6.5 even, and we could be up at 10 or 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did ask the question whether there will be any limits with regards to frequency they want. There's no upper limit. There's never going to be like, we're going to stop at 100. No, it won't. It can go up. The frequency now is very much influenced on sales. So the more licenses, the more in-demand licenses for net leaders for Dascoin effectively are, the higher the frequency.
Yeah, as I said, things are speeding up, because when we first came on board, it was, 6 weeks the frequency would change, then it dropped to 4. And now it's every 2 weeks the frequency is getting higher. And I think as time goes on, that will speed up as well. Okay, so Dascoin minting. Periodically, in accordance with the predetermined upgrade interval, all cycle balances will be experience an upgrade, and those balances in the accounts will double. If cycles are already in the Dascoin minting queue, these cycles will be unaffected unless they are associated with an account that has a frequency lock. Okay, so I was going to go jump the cycle already. So basically, whenever you buy your license, you go into a queue. Everything is time-stamped, and you join the queue for your coins to be minted. Every account receives at least one upgrade. However, if you buy a higher license, you will get more upgrades. One upgrade for the standard, manager, and pro. 2 upgrades for executive, and I think is it 12.5 2 upgrades?
Yeah.
And 3 upgrades for the president. Okay, and I just wanted actually to jump back a bit to what Rebecca was talking about, the euro equivalent of what you can withdraw for each license. If you can withdraw into your web wallet 5 days a week, Monday till Friday, the same amount. Even if you have more than one account in the license, it will go with the highest account that you have in your license. So for your €100 license, you can withdraw €5 per day into your web wallet. For the 500, €10 per day, 2,025 euros a day. Executive, €50 a day, which is the equivalent of €1,000 a month passive income that you could have coming in. And not too sure the 12.5, because that's a license we recently added. You'll need to check that out. But the president license is €187.50 a day into your web wallet that you can go to the shops and spend. Guys, that's 3,750 clear a month, euros. That's equivalent of a €60,000 salary.
Yeah, that's if the coins for if they're worth €1 a coin.
Yes, sorry, missed that bit.
At the very beginning, when the coins are of a less value, so if say for talk's sake, and this is just my opinion, if they went live at say 10 cents a coin, well that means then if for a 50 or for a €100 license you could withdraw 50 coins per day into your wallet. If it went live at €10 a coin, you could only withdraw half a coin per day into your wallet. This is to stop, pumps and dumps, it's called in the crypto trading world. And what would happen is if someone with a 25k license was to withdraw all their coins right away, the market was way up and they dumped all their coins, it would crash the price of the markets, and that would lower the cost or lower the value of the coin, which none of us want. We all want the value to go up and up. So it's really, really smart what Michael and the guys have done here. And I've been trading cryptocurrencies for a couple of years now, and it's quite amazing that they've actually thought of this and they've put that kind of restriction in to limit the amount of coins that people can, once all those coins are in your wallet, you can go and dump all those coins at once if you want. That is totally your call. But at the very beginning, they're limiting the numbers that can go out, and it's I think it's pretty amazing. When we were talking about this earlier, Arthur and Rebecca, and we had asked about the upgrades. If you had to wait for 108 days for your upgrades, that is not the case. So if I joined last year, and I had to wait 108 days for an upgrade. If someone joined, there's 76 days left now, or 75 days, I think, left now until that upgrade. If someone was to join now, they only have to wait 75 days. So if someone joined the day before the upgrades actually happened, so someone had a 5k package And the next day, the upgrades happened. They're getting double their coins the next day. So I just thought I would throw that in there as well, because I did ask that question earlier for us.
No, that's fantastic. Yep, guys, I think that's us for tonight. Yep.
Yeah, that's it. So
what we're going to do, we're going to stop the recording and we're going to keep open and open up your mics, guys. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, just before we stop. Okay, so we're going to stop just to keep it short, but we will keep going for another, afterwards, we're going to keep going for another 5 or 10 minutes. So just feel free to stay, and then we'll just carry on our discussion. But I'm stopping the recording right now, and we'll see you all on another session
tomorrow. Yep, see you all later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.